Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Farley, host of The Grace Message. Got a Bible question? Struggling with a personal issue? Wondering about a tricky verse? At BibleQuestions.com, you'll get clear, grace-based answers in 10 seconds or less. No fluff, no confusion, just practical biblical truth. Ask anything, anytime, and experience the power of God's love. Visit BibleQuestions.com. That's BibleQuestions.com, your go-to for biblical clarity.
Jesus plus nothing. 100% natural, no additives. Andrew Farley is celebrating your freedom in Christ. Call in and ask your questions at 877-655-6755. That's toll free at 877-655-6755. Via satellite from Texas, it's The Grace Message with Dr. Andrew Farley.
Farley, so glad you're joining us tonight. That number to call, 877-655-6755. Right now, we got wide open lines, 4 open lines, plenty of room for you to get in with your question tonight. Maybe you got a question, a comment, an observation, something on your heart, something on your mind about, who knows, maybe you heard something in church, you're not sure about it, you want to run it by us, or perhaps you got a personal problem going on in your life right now, in your marriage, with your kids, in your church. Something's going on, and you want to talk it over. Well, that is exactly why we're here tonight for you. Go for it. Give us a call right now, 877-655-6755. And if you're a first-time caller tonight, please know we love it here at The Grace Message. We love to hear from our first-time callers. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're a veteran caller, maybe you've joined us in the past, maybe even a few times, but it's been a while and you've got something new on your heart tonight, join us as well. Go for it. Give us a call, 877-655-6755. Right now we got 3 open lines, still room for you to dive in, and we'll be sure to get to your call tonight. Maybe it's a scripture passage. Maybe you read something online, on social media. Somebody posted something. Perhaps your pastor or a friend in a coffee shop said something, and you just want to kick the tire of that concept a little bit and get a grace-based perspective. Well, again, that's exactly why we're here. We are live across the United States and Canada on Sirius XM, all kinds of FM and AM stations. And, of course, we are live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, our mobile app, and our website. It doesn't matter how you're listening right now. You can just call in and be a part of tonight's interaction. We'd love to have you. 3 open lines, loads of room. We'll be sure to get to you. 877-655-6755. Go for it. Give us a call right now. We're going to Canada for our first call of the evening. We'll talk with Mike. Hey, Mike, what do you got for us tonight, my friend?
Well, I'd like to ask about Genesis 3:15. And what I'm wondering is the seed of the woman related to the woman of Revelation 12?
Okay, all right. The seed of the woman. All right, well, let's talk about that because we certainly have the idea that the woman is going to bear a child, the seed of the woman, and you're asking, is it related to Revelation? Well, you know, I know that Paul, the Apostle Paul, uses seed to refer to Christ. And so it's an interesting question. I don't think we've ever had that on the broadcast before. But Genesis 3 is, a lot of people look at it as the first prophecy about Jesus, where God is saying there's going to be enmity between the serpent and the woman. You know the passage where you got the serpent's offspring and the woman's offspring, Eve's offspring. And this seed of the woman, well, it's understood to be a reference to Christ, who would ultimately defeat Satan, right? So in Revelation, you are seeing a very similar theme, right? You pop over to Revelation chapter 12, and there's a woman giving birth to a male child who is destined to rule all the nations. And then you got the dragon, that is Satan, and he is attempting to destroy the child. So what happens? Well, the child is caught up to God, caught up to the throne in heaven, and you got to say, well, that is definitely symbolizing Christ's victory, Christ's ascension. You see that in Revelation 12. So, yeah, I think you're on to something. I think you've got it right. I think you've connected the right dots. You go back to Genesis 3, and the seed of the woman is crushing the serpent's head. Well, that is definitely a picture, a shadow, a symbol of Christ having triumph, having victory over evil. And so you see that victory over death, that victory over evil. You see it in Colossians 2. You see it in Hebrews 2. So I think you got it right, my friend. It's beautiful because those are bookends. I mean, you got Genesis and then you got Revelation. You got the beginning of the Bible and you got the end of the Bible. And what does that remind us of? Well, the whole thing is about Jesus. If you get to know the book and you don't know the author, then you've missed it. I mean, most of the time you read a book, like in history class or English class. I mean, you're reading literature to get to know the literature. You're reading the book to get to know the book. But that's not the case. Not the case at all with the Bible. We're reading the Bible to get to know the author, because the Bible points us to Jesus Christ. And Revelation 3 certainly it can be seen as the very first prophecy about the coming of Messiah. And not just his coming, but his victory over sin, his victory over death, his victory over Satan. He is the head crusher. He is Jesus Christ, the victorious one. Thanks for your call tonight. Reach out to us anytime, Mike. Well, we got open lines. We got room for you. And this is the Grace Message. Just a reminder that you can, you can find all of our free resources at andrewfarley.org. That's andrewfarley.org. And when you go there, click on the Media tab. And what are you going to find? Well, thousands of free resources. Short videos, longer format teachings, whatever you need, we got it there. You're going to love it. You're going to be encouraged in the love and grace of God. Well, let's go now to Illinois, and we'll talk to Johnny. Hey, Johnny, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, in the New Testament, when they say the ground shook and some of the old prophets and old saints came out of the grave and walked around Jerusalem, I guess. I just wanted to see what you thought on that.
Okay, yeah. Well, definitely. It's in the scriptures, and, you got to say, well, if it's in there, then I'm going to entertain it as true. And I know it shocks some people, and yet there it is. So let's talk about this controversial issue. It's not any more controversial than the resurrection of Jesus himself. I mean, you go to the Gospel of Matthew, and right after Jesus' crucifixion, Matthew, he's the one recording this, and it says the earth shook. It says the rocks split. It says the tombs broke open, and a whole lot of people who had died, what happened? Well, they were raised to life, and they appeared. They appeared to lots of people all over Jerusalem. You see it in Matthew 27. It's right there in verses 51 to 53. It happened. It's recorded by Matthew. And even though it's not mentioned in the other gospel accounts, Matthew certainly records it. And I have no reason to dispute it. I think you gotta buy the whole message, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, I tell people often, what are you gonna believe the part about creation? God created the world, and then you're gonna believe the part about how he separated the seas so the Israelites could escape, and then you're gonna believe the part about how he shut the mouths of lions. and then you're going to get to the Jesus part and bail? I mean, you're going to get to the Jesus part, the resurrection part, and then suddenly say it's symbolic or that it didn't happen? You're going to miss the best part. I mean, you believe a whole lot of crazy stuff. I mean, you believe God spoke the world into existence. You believe that, there was a family that was saved in an ark while the rest of the world perished. You believe a lot of crazy stuff, or at least, quote, crazy stuff. And so I guess I would invite you to believe one more thing, and that is Jesus Christ, crucified, buried, raised. God raised him from the dead. And absolutely, Matthew 27, you see this powerful sign. It's a sign of the importance of Jesus' death. It's a sign of victory over death. I mean, that's what it represents. It's the power of death that is broken. And it's the promise of resurrection. And that's what we see. It happens to Christ. It happens to us. It happens to us spiritually. We get spiritually raised when we're born again. Plus, we get a new resurrection body when we die. So there's a whole lot here, and I think it's worth talking about. The resurrection of these believers. It's like an appetizer, like a foreshadowing. It's a taste tester of the resurrection that we all experience through Christ. So definitely the event is legit. The passage is legitimate. It is part of the Bible. It's Matthew 27. It is not symbolic. It is definitely to be taken literally, and it really happened. I mean, the same Matthew that records this event also records the death and resurrection of Christ. And so what are we going to do? Cherry pick and choose like a buffet line at our favorite restaurant? No. Let's fall at the feet of the Word of God, take it in, and recognize that if we're saying Jesus is God and that he has risen from the dead and he lives in us, then certainly he can give life to some folks that run around ancient Jerusalem to prove the power of God. I mean, look at what Jesus did for Lazarus. Lazarus, come forth. And that was a literal and actual resurrection from the dead. And so, yes, all the way yes, my friend. I hope that helps, Johnny. Reach out to us anytime. Great to hear from you. Well, folks, once again, I do want to remind you, you're listening to The Grace Message. If you want to support The Grace Message, maybe you love what you're hearing, you've thought about supporting us here at The Grace Message, and you haven't yet done that. Well, I want to tell you, there's no better time than right now, and here's why. This is our fiscal year end. Over the next 30 days, we have our final month of the fiscal year. And so right now, your gift is doubled. We have had generous donors come forward. They've offered us a matching grant of $150,000. And that means that every gift, it's unbelievable, but every gift is doubled. If you give $100, it becomes $200. If you give $1,000, it becomes $2,000. Every gift that you gift is matched. And so what I'm saying is, if you've ever thought about taking 2 minutes, just 2 minutes to give your gift at andrewfarley.org, well, when you do, it is doubled. And all we can say is thank you, thank you. I mean, we are reaching people all over the planet through Sirius XM, through loads of FM and AM stations, through TBN television, through books and conferences, through all kinds of media online, through our resource known as BibleQuestions.com. We are reaching people in more than 100 languages all over the world, and you can help us do it. You can help us reach even more. When you give your gift this month, let me tell you, starting today, we're starting it 2 days early, but starting today, right now, when you give your gift, it is doubled, all the way up to $150,000. This is one of those rare times in the history of our ministry. This has happened for us maybe half a dozen times total over a couple of decades. So if you've ever thought about giving to the Grace Message, please, there's no better time than right now. It takes 2 minutes to give your gift at andrewfarley.org. Again, that's andrewfarley.org. Your gift will be doubled, and we have a special resource that just came out today. It's called The Gospel They Never Told You, and I'm really proud, I'm really excited about this resource. It is a powerful and controversial and super meaningful resource. You're going to dive deep into the gospel. It's called The Gospel They Never Told You, and we're going to give this to you as a free gift just to say thank you, for your donation this month. Go for it. Give your best gift. It'll be doubled by the matching grant, and we'll send you The Gospel They Never Told You. It takes 2 minutes, and you can find it at andrewfarley.org. Of course, your gift is tax deductible as well. All right, well, we're going to go now to Mark in Ontario, Canada. Hey, Mark.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, good. What's on your mind tonight, my friend?
Yeah, I have a question on what your opinion is on the mental health area. If people could, let's say, like depression, is that something you can take medication on, or do you just pray about it, or a mixture of both? I was just wondering your opinion on that.
Okay. Can I ask you a few questions? I'd love to ask you, for example, if it's about you, how long has it been happening?
Oh, it's not about me. It was
okay.
about my ex-wife. She suffered. There was something that was off. I want to say it was like more of a paranoid personality disorder. I would pray about it, and I wasn't sure if she should go take medication. But regardless, she didn't want to go see a psychologist anyway. But I just wanted to see if what your opinion is on that.
Yeah, all right. Well, so what I have is an opinion, and I want you to know up front, I mean, I'm obviously not a medical doctor, so nothing I say can be construed as medical advice. But I can tell you that I've talked with hundreds of people over decades about depression and anxiety and other things. So I'll just tell you, I mean, again, this is a person I've not met, but in general, what I'm seeing is for years, for years, they said depression. What's happening there? Well, it's your serotonin levels. Your serotonin levels are not high enough, and so you're depressed. And so what we need to do is give you an SSRI. We need to give you a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. And what that means is that we're going to inhibit the uptake of serotonin so that there's more in your system. It's not taken up, it remains. And that will make you feel better. And so they prescribed a lot of SSRIs, and many people, I mean, millions, hundreds of millions of people are taking SSRIs right now. And, I make no judgment call on that. I'm not a doctor. But then in the last 5 to 10 years, they've been saying, well, we think that maybe the number one culprit for depression, the number one cause, is inflammation. So not serotonin levels, but something else going on in the body, inflammation. And then you say, well, what could be causing inflammation? And, I'm sure there's environmental factors, air quality, blah, 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 but food would be number one. I mean, food causes inflammation when you have a reaction to food. So there's a question there. I mean, when people are depressed I'm not talking about somebody's in a bad mood for a week or a month. No, I'm not talking about somebody's dog died and they're upset for 90 days. I'm talking about a year and 5 years and 10 years and even decades where people are stuck and they know something's wrong with them and they can't figure it out. What I tell them is go see a doctor. And they might even say, no, but you don't understand. I'm a Christian. I can just pray about it. Okay, pray about it. But how about you also go see a doctor? Because, by the way, you've got a physical body. Don't neglect the physicality that God gave you. Timothy had frequent stomach ailments. What did Paul say? Take some red wine. Take some red wine for your frequent stomach ailments. That was the remedy of the day, the medicine, if you will. And that's what Paul offers Timothy. He doesn't say, hey, Tim, you need more faith. Hey, Tim, you need to pray more about it. What's wrong with you, Tim? You need to believe your way out of this. No, he says, take some red wine. So I would encourage any Christian, any human that is struggling with depression to see a doctor. Now, your first inclination is just to go see your family doctor or whatever, and they know basically one area of expertise, and they could end up prescribing that serotonin reuptake inhibitor. But if you see a functional doctor will do some different stuff. They can run some tests. What if you see an allergist? So I encourage people that are suffering from long-term pervasive symptoms that don't seem to go away and they can't figure out the cause, I say go see an allergist and go see a functional doctor, because it could be that you are poisoning your body and you don't even know it. And when you poison your body with something that you react to, guess what it causes? It causes inflammation. And guess what the number one cause, people believe now, scholars believe this, that inflammation can lead to depression. So that's my take. It is my opinion. That's what it is. But I've seen a whole lot of people suffer. And so that's my best advice. All right, well, let's go now to, how about California? We'll talk with Scott. Hi, Scott. What do you got for us tonight?
Hi, Andrew. I just want to say I'm so grateful for your ministry. I've been listening to you since the beginning of May, and I'm currently reading the Grace Message book, so thank
awesome.
you. My question is, how do I overcome my feeling of guilt when it comes to trying to keep a church covenant? I am part of a Southern Baptist and 9 Marks church. I feel a lot of guilt and pressure that weighs me down, and sometimes I just don't want to be there at church.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be in a covenant to begin with. You don't need to be in a covenant with your church. There's something off there that's unhealthy. It is controlling, and I would definitely break that off. I would say I rescind my signature on that form, and I am not going to put myself under the pressure and bondage of a church covenant. You will not see contracts with Christians in the New Testament. You will not see any sort of agreements or promises to do X, Y, and Z over 1 year and 5 years and 10 years. You do not see that in the New Testament. It is unhealthy. I do not recommend it. I would get away from it because it is absolutely going to zap your joy. In fact, it already has. And it's a control tactic, and I don't like it one bit. You know what? If it's about money, then you are free to give from your heart. You can give from your heart, not under pressure. God loves a cheerful giver. If it's about attendance, they need to get over themselves and realize that when 2 or more are gathered, there the Lord is with you and among you. So we cannot prescribe exact attendance records for someone. We cannot prescribe exact giving patterns for someone. And the moment that we make those into contracts or covenants or agreements, that's when we steal the joy. What joy is that? The joy of being led internally by God's Spirit as we're under grace.
For more information on the broadcast ministry of Dr. Andrew Farley, please visit andrewfarley.org. That's andrewfarley.org. Join us next time as we invite you to celebrate the grace message with Dr. Andrew Farley. This program is sponsored by your generous financial support.
Hi, I'm Andrew Farley. I hope you enjoyed today's program. And if you have more questions, whether it's about a Bible verse, a personal struggle, or anything on your heart, BibleQuestions.com is here for you. You'll get clear, grace-based answers in 10 seconds or less. No confusion, no judgment, just practical truth that meets you right where you are. Whatever's on your mind, you'll find real answers rooted in God's love. Visit BibleQuestions.com. That's BibleQuestions.com.